Yeah, private consumption has been very low in 2020, and I mean, as part of the consequence of that, I do expect in 2021 that private consumption is going to be one of the strongest supply side sectors of the economy as there is that bit of a bounce back. There's one real bright spot in China, which is the domestic tourism sector. China was a huge importer of tourism in the sense that it sent a lot of people abroad for their holidays. Now they're holidaying at home, and so it's one of those countries that has actually seen some economic gain from that, and the boom in domestic tourism is going to be a support through 2021. The dual circulation model is really just economic protectionism or nationalism dressed up in a new piece, in a new phrase or a new propaganda phrase, and that's going to further decrease China's productivity growth. Now, there's an increase in emphasis on self-sufficiency and self-reliance. There are reasons why China wants to do that, some political, some risk management, and some economic. But a consequence of it is going to be less investment from abroad and a more challenging trade picture and a more challenging productivity picture as the competitive forces that have really pushed China's economy to grow and expand are reduced. And we can see, for example, the antitrust measures being taken against a company like Alibaba. So I think the dual circulation model is going to be a little bit of a downward force on productivity in China over the next few years. That, of course, is going to feed through into those GDP numbers.
So talking of a difficult trade environment, if indeed one of the goals of America's tariff trade war with China was to try and lower their trade deficit, you would say, therefore, that America's actually failed pretty miserably in that goal. Is there any chance under incoming President Joe Biden that those tariffs, at least some of them, could be removed?
I think it's going to be hard for Joe Biden to remove many tariffs on China. I mean, I think it's very likely he'll stop the increases, so he'll take a different tack that'll be less tariff focused, and I think more a traditional international relations, diplomacy, pressure with allies, those sorts of factors. As far as tariffs goes, we might see a few coming off. Say in particular in relation to consumer goods, where there might be a more direct impact on members of the public in the US, but not a wholesale removal of these tariffs. And let's remember, before the trade war, average tariffs on US-China trade were about 5% of trade value. Now they're on average at about 18%. So it's a huge increase in trade frictions that is going to be with us for quite some time to come.